G'day, punters. Welcome to the Mailbag Preview Show for where are we? Deep diving. We're deep diving. Deep diving the week was, and Pistol, kick us off. Some things I thought I'd never see in my adult life, ever. Top 5 would have been Pistol drinking protein shakes on a Monday morning. Sneaky Pete, how heavy are you lifting?
It's not about the lift, Jack. It's about the technique, and it's about the input versus the output. So for me, currently, it's about increasing the output, decreasing the input, which isn't going to happen because I'm still going out and smacking piss until 2:30 on a Saturday morning. So increase the output.
Are you bulking, or are you looking to just sort of like athleticize the rig slightly?
Yeah, more the latter. Bulking for myself on my frame will look a little bit hilarious. Not sure there's quite an example I can think of.
Curls, you'd have a bit of advice, wouldn't you? I haven't seen it recently, but there was a lot of deadlift gear.
Yeah,
4 or 5 months ago from you on Instagram. Big deadlift operator.
I've had a bit of a think about all that. Like Pistol and I are fortunate enough to be able to go and smack Pistol 2:45 a.m.
Yeah,
and fortunate enough to be able to go to the gym. So sort of got to stop flexing on that, I think. Pistol and I are living very similar lives right now. Except I'm doing 60 kilo sets on my way to trying to do a 100 kilo 1 RM. Just to say I've done it. That's Pistol will know what I'm talking about. That's sort of gym talk, Jackie. You wouldn't.
I was going to say, Kells, I'm going to the beach tomorrow. Are you going to the beach as well?
Nah, I'm not. I'm not going to say what I'm doing tomorrow because Jack will get upset.
18 of them, eh?
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, that's Moonee Valley. Thanks, punters. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate that. See you guys. I'll see you next time.
Can I start off by saying yourself and Jacko did an outstanding job handling that card there on Saturday, because obviously we didn't exactly know what the track would do. It didn't end up being that wet after all, but there was obviously a distinct pattern that emerged quite early in the card, and the way that you both adapted was top-notch.
Well, we better get out of the way first, but very, very, very bad, poor decision by Jackson to trust the weatherman, wasn't it? But luckily for us, that was the only one who got wrong all weekend, because he predicted Noah's Ark and maybe they get cancelled, but the track raced pretty well, and we were able to, sort of zig and zag our way through it. He did the steering on Saturday, so we kind of put in a set of prices and can adjust them for a map. So basically, really, is the only thing you can adjust for, or you would adjust for, which we've spoken about at length in Q&As. So, didn't expect to bet a heap, and it's been a huge week. We're 36 or almost 37 units in front for September. Should be 8 straight or something, I think. Anyway.
Bless your cotton socks. Shall we start off with a feature? Well, I think it was the feature, the fan. There was 2 Group 2s on the card, but clearly this is the one that had the most interest. What an interesting race to watch unfold.
Yeah.
You could see Ollie thinking as soon as the gates opened, and obviously he knew he was going to the worst part of the track, but he knew as well that he was following arguably the second best horse in the race, in Elephant, and everyone was just swooping wide into the corner, and he just saved that little bit of ground which helped him on the line.
And this ties in perfectly to what we've opened with. So, or not what we've opened with, a bit of gym gear, but the racing stuff. Superstorm was a bet on Wednesday afternoon, the way we do the form, the prices. You guys can see the sheets yourselves, like our sheets. It's a bet. But it's going to be worse in midfield. It's probably going to need a swoop. It's going to need a lot to go right, and it's probably not going to be suited Moonee Valley. We were able to slowly pick this apart and then get set. We backed this thing maybe 45 before it jumped. But Jackson made that decision as a great decision. I think the first 2 across the line are the most interesting horses from the race and worth following. The chosen ones doesn't go poor, does it? Just like turns up again and again and again. The most fascinating bit of information that I've not been confirmed, but I've heard it twice from 2 different people. Danny O'Brien was scathing in his feedback to Damien Oliver post-race for the tactics.
Yeah, so what's the alternative? He goes 18 wide into the corner.
Oh no, it's like me and Curly jumping over the fence and telling fucking Shane Warne how to bowl leg spin. Shut the fuck up, Danny.
Yeah, well, look, I heard Ollie on WA radio on Sunday morning, and he said, look, he realised that the 4 horses drawn inside of him, or 3 horses drawn inside of him, didn't have any gate speed, so he's likely to end back last the fence anyway. So he thought, well, I may as well get as far forward on the fence as possible and try and follow Elephant.
Like, if I was... This is like a soft spot for me because I think Dan O'Brien's made a few big errors recently in his training, which has cost us a heap of money. He missed a run with Young Werther, which cost us winning the Derby, which cost us thousands. He got out-trained by Dennis Pagan, and then he is questioning Damien Oliver after he just won him a Group 2, and his first horse with Bob Peters has gone, good run first up, bang, you've won the fee and you're in the Cox Plate. And then he's got the ego on him to criticise the GOAT. If true, alleged, fascinating behaviour from a bloke who, you know, we saw in the Guineas when Pruska's thing won with Luna Flair with Mickey D. Ollie snuck up the fence there again on another one of Danny O'Brien's, which gave out late because it didn't have enough runs under the belt. Like, I worry about what you're doing, Danny, and get off the GOAT's back, or the GOAT will probably get off all of your horses, which he almost already has by the look of it.
It's a fine line between track bias and being on the best horse, though, isn't it? You know, like, you save ground by holding the inside in this case, and the horse he knows is good enough. He kept it comfortable early in the race. Yes, it was under pressure on the corner, but they all were.
Yeah, there's 2 points to be made here, which is just proves, if it's true, which I'm sure it is because of 2 people have said it, how it's just ignorant some of these trainers are. This is like a horse that hasn't seen the Valley maybe ever, or if not very much. So, and we spoke about this maybe 2 weeks ago, being inside horses and helping you corner when you're really accelerating at the Valley is a big plus. And the length saved by going through the inferior ground, which would cost excellence, was probably a sum that equaled about 0, because he would have had to peel real wide and be wider than the chosen one and lose a lot of momentum at a key stage.
Yeah, especially drawing the inside gate, you'd have to really just actually go back to last and then circumnavigate around all of them. First start at the Valley for Superstorm. Raced at Caulfield 5 times previously, but first time at the Valley.
Yeah, I just thought it was fascinating behaviour to bag the ride. It was like an arrogant, confident ride and fucking too good. And we backed it, so yeah, talking through the kick. But
I mean,
God bless him.
Obviously, Sierra
God bless
Sue,
Bob.
Well, yeah, careful. Sierra Sue was obviously trucking, going through the straight, didn't have any luck, big flashing light, the horse is flying. Was there anything else?
It is flying, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
absolutely flying.
Yeah, beyond flying. Is there anything else in the race? So the chosen one was pretty firm the whole way through betting. Streets of Avalon did what Streets of Avalon does.
I reckon this is a hard race it often is a hard race to get too keen on, and you certainly can't be too negative on. Last year, I think we saw around the Melbourne Cup, Pruska's horse. Like that.
Surprise baby.
Yeah, like those sort of horses returned here. And look at the second last horse here, Realm of Flowers, which I think is going to Melbourne Cup. It's clocked the second fastest last 200 of the race and run second last. So that's a box tick for this horse for where it's at and where it's going to, I guess. Solid race, solid day's racing.
Okay. The other Group 2 on the card was the McEwen Stakes and Inferno, which Jackson did identify off its jump out trial between runs. Said it was elite Group 1.
It pissed in, didn't it? It pissed in.
Have a look at the last 200. The split. I know it's off a very slow tempo and have dawdled here, but great ride by D Lane. He seems to handle these three wide rides over the short sprint trips so well, especially at Caulfield and the Valley. But the horse is just
lucky Danny O'Brien doesn't train this one. He would have given him a big whack for being three-wide no cover here. But he is good at it, Pistol. I agree. And yeah, when you look at the sectional, just the pure number of the race meeting, even you can see how fast this horse has gone versus every other horse there on Saturday. Probably a missed opportunity. Geez, it was steady around that sort of 650 the fair, like the whole time. He obviously can train, and Jackson can watch trials.
Yes, he can.
Better than most.
September run.
flying.
Yeah.
Fastest last. Let me read it out exactly what it did. Second fastest last 800, fastest last 600, second fastest last 400, and fastest last 200 meters of the entire meeting.
Slow tempo, obviously, but still have to get it done. There's other horses in the race, similar sort of.
We saw this thing,
circumstance.
Curls. I think we ended up backing it, Curls, in a big race. It just got out to a stupid price and it flew. So it loves the camber at the Valley. It slings into it, but going good. Hopefully, it stays in Victoria.
Yeah, it's a dirty back marker. I don't care where it goes.
What about if it goes to a Flemington straight race?
Yeah, who cares? Couldn't run past Zutori when it was last at the straight race when it come from 16th. Like it's just a like mongrel back marker.
Bless the Tory, by the way. Okay.
Watch it come out and win next start. Yeah. Now I've put it. But anyway, like if you want to back a horse that sits last and runs on, well, back it. I don't. So.
Yeah. There's a couple of 3-year-old races. You had the Ciurleo and My Numero Uno claiming both of those. Do you have any time for some of the beaten brigade or the winners for that matter?
I reckon these are two of the harder races on the day to figure out. They're an average time really for a Saturday and for like a proper 3-year-old overall. I don't know what to do with them. I'm not going to force it. Generation was like completely off. They couldn't lay a bet on it. It was like unlayable on the fair. Still ran third. I don't know how to line this up. Like Bonnie Marino was beaten by the lambing horse, which like couldn't keep up last Saturday. Maybe at Caulfield. So I think that form's suspect. And well, I don't mind Ciurleo and I don't mind Argentia. That was a car crash for Ollie. So lucky the Freedman's trained it and not Danny O'Brien. But Ciurleo went enormous. I thought Luskin Spur was good. I'd give them the edge over the boys. The fillies the edge over the boys slightly, but I don't think any superstars yet.
Yeah. Fair enough. And I guess, look, best figures on the card were early on, but they were the only fast tempo races. Not sure you can read too much into that. And De Graves went well and in race 4, coming back towards the inside of the straight. But again, I think probably the way you look at it is just they're all probably about right given the tempo of the events that they were in. Yeah,
I think like inside draws and worse than midfield, not ideal Saturday, but relatively fair. And it'll be a decent meeting to follow. I think Caulfield last week could be a better form reference. And House forgot user on the biggest figure of the day. We took $3 for it to win a Cranbourne race on Thursday. Like, how's that for a bad beat?
It's wonderful, isn't it?
We backed it here, but we would have backed the favourite as well here and would have collected on 2 bets instead of having to halve it here. So
yeah. All right, very good. As you said, decent enough meeting to follow, but it will require a little bit of work. So I think that's probably the rest of the day sorted, isn't it?
Yeah.
Curls.
It's going to take a lot longer than normal.
Yeah.
A bit longer than normal.
Yeah. There's going to be subtle little bits that you'll get out of some of the replays, I think. Curly, Queensland. Anything that caught your eye there over the weekend?
Not really. Pistol. Tempo related bad rides sort of dictated most of the results on Saturday. Also than good rides. One thing that did catch my eye, which I just want to share with you for no other reason than I thought it was funny, was the last race at the Sunshine Coast on Sunday.
This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing.
This is the head-on footage here I'm going to share with you. Didn't put this in the run sheet, did I? Can you see that screen here?
We can.
Yeah.
Okay, so eventual winner on the inside here, Ipso Nemfalek, I think it was, a young apprentice on board. That one there. First past the post. And here's the last little bit of the head-on action. There's the second horse there. ran fourth. Oh my god.
So was there a protest?
So anyway, there's the winner. That's the second horse. That's the fourth horse here. Protest was second v first and fourth v first for interference over the concluding stages. Protests all dismissed.
You can't make this up, eh?
So I don't know. Maybe the interference was too close to the finish line to change the result. The winner did win, by a margin. I think it may have been a length by the time he knocked everyone down and then hit the line. He was a length in front of the others.
If you were a steward, what would you have done?
The races had been put back like 2 races. They ran the last one under lights. It was 7 o'clock Sunday night. I'm on the clock here. Let's dismiss. We've got to go. If I was a steward, that's exactly what I would have done. And that's exactly what they've done.
Wonderful.
Apart from that, it was a good week. We had a winning week and, it was good. Thanks for asking.
All right, very good. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, they're somewhere.
That's good.
I have a question. Here's one from Curly in Queensland. What do we make of Portland Sky after Saturday?
Pass mark. Money was there. Horse going good.
Sat outside a soft lead and got completely steamrolled by the horses down the middle.
Yeah, I think it was okay. Like they really, really, they know what they're doing. The Laurie stable. Anyone who's sick enough and who was with us yesterday, we saved on it in the end. Jackson found it off a trial at race 3 Geelong. We backed the winner, but we also saved on one of his, which was 11s into $4 on the fair, off a poor trial to the untrained eye. One of the bigger, trying to be one of the biggest betting stables in Victoria, I reckon. Unbelievable go that was yesterday at Geelong, and Geordie Childs was last defence after 150 metres. God bless him.
Was wonderful, wasn't it?
It was a bet. It was a weird betting race, wasn't it? Because our steam too. Like we took
320,
maybe even 360.
Yeah,
and we started 2's the fair. Like it was the 2 big goes, but it's much better to be outside the leader than last fence.
Indeed.
99 times out of 100.
We do have a question from Ed, which we'll get back to you, Ed, because we'll need to do a little bit of research for that. We'll bring it up on the Punting Form systems regarding the profitability of favourites in Group 1s. But this is from Praddy. Question for the show. When you are following up your cash because you found the horse again and it's a bet at the price, and last start it's been ridden completely upside down, either likes the lead and is snicked back, or the opposite way around, and it hasn't responded, do you approach more cautiously and have slightly less of a unit or units on because you're worried it might be ridden upside down again? This obviously comes as if there is no information out there regarding a change of tactics, and it hasn't seemed to have missed the start or jumped extremely well. So it hasn't jumped different to what it would normally do. That's from Praddy.
I'll start then. I think it's mainly for you, Peter. There's always information about change of tactics, Praddy, and it's the market. So if the horse firms, you can expect intent. If the horse drifts, you can expect 0 intent. As to follow my money, I wouldn't do it that much anymore, Peter.
I don't bet less as a result, but I don't necessarily bet more. There's no real rhyme or reason. It depends on what I've marked it in terms of a price, basically. But I don't exactly go looking for horses that were not suited last start, because sometimes you get, say, the last race at Kalgoorlie there on Sunday. I think there was 4 runners that I backed last start, and that were all variously not suited / butchered / dead. So yeah, that makes it a little bit difficult when you're doing the form of a race. You can't exactly go through and say, oh, I'm going to bias all of these, because there's still another 12 horses in the field. So yeah, case by case basis, I think.
Anything else we should touch on?
Week ahead.
There's so much politics out there, but I think I should give it a miss this week. Although I do appreciate the feedback I get every week. For the fast horse of Hong Kong too, by the way, in case anyone missed that.
Oh, Jack, I was about to say, fuck my Sundays. My Sundays are now Twitter free because I just can't cop the Hong Kong hype on Twitter after a horse wins over there. Jeez.
What's that?
No, I don't know. I never read about it.
You mean the horse that won the 1,000-metre race at $1.40 or something?
Was it obviously Australian, like an ex-Australian?
It had one trial at Ciurleo. And
under
sold.
who? Patrick?
Don't know, I can't remember who it was. But who gives a shit? You often see that first start down the straight, they run big figures or they run up against other horses that aren't 1,000-metre races or 1,000-metre horses. Anyway, play on.
Yeah.
Week ahead, Jack.
We've got... there's no betting today and probably no betting tomorrow. We've done Wangaratta but couldn't really find any big enough sort of overlay, but we'll be betting Royal Sandown on Wednesday. Then we've got Mornington into Swan Hill Thursday, Friday, and then Flemington and Echuca on Saturday, and then a little Cranny Donald action on Sunday. So really, we love Flemington's easily our best track. Very, very. I love this meeting. Macquarie Dam Stakes Day. It's a fucking great meeting, and I can't wait for it.
Yep.
And anything else we should say? Well, Curly, where are you betting?
Queensland.
Yeah.
We've missed the biggest opportunity of all time not to have you in, with fucking in isolation over there with Pete's bedroom or whatever, Pete's spare bedroom.
Oh, look, I've got a big week. Racing.com is finally airing the pre-recorded wagering panel show on Wednesday. The reason why it's taken 30 days from recording to airing is probably the edit button. It's been smashed. Hopefully they haven't stitched me up there and
just cut you right out. It's the easy way.
I'm a little bit nervous. Wednesday is Eagle Farm. Friday is the Demons taking on the Cats in the prelim final. So this is how fucked up I am over this. Is that I had a few hundred on Geelong to win the premiership moments before the bounce versus the GWS Giants. It's a bit of an insurance bet, because when they beat us Friday night and Melbourne tears are flowing, which fucking probably happened. I'm just going to
fragile.
I'm just going to console myself with that Geelong premiership bet and just lay it back. Fucking surely we can beat them. Saturday is the usual Gold Coast, Doomben, Toowoomba. So it's great. All the meetings are in North Queensland, so just the one in Southeast Queensland during the week, which is Wednesday. So lovely week.
All right, very good. We'll catch up later this week to preview Group 1 racing from Flemington. Until then.